Hi friends, welcome to Aishusdiy. Why? I thought I was recording the video and somehow it just suddenly switched off. I have no idea. We are designing with Sam's bead box for the month of November 2021 and this is the bead I want to use. So what I basically did was, I'll go over with you guys again. So what I did was, this is going to be the focal and this is some pattern that I have already done, but there will be a little twist of course. And I pulled out some of these Picasso beads, and then these are 4mm Picasso truck beads, and these turquoise, I think these are 3mm. And then these beads, I don't know what is the shape, what this bead is. Then I pulled out some daisy spaces and copper spaces from my stash, and this is a 7-inch piece of antique copper 20 gauge para wire that I'm using, and also I have a 5-inch piece. At the end of the 5-inch piece I made a wrapped loop. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't record it, somehow it got missed. So it's just a wrap loop at this end, and in this 7-inch what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a basic loop just like so. I'm not going to straighten my loop right now, or actually I can straighten my loop, right? Why not? And make it like that. Now what I'm going to do is, I have here some 26 gauge wire. I think it's 26 or 28, I'm not so sure, but I don't have anything written on it, so I forgot. But this is the wire I'm going to wrap. I'm going to coil it around the 7 inches of antique copper wire. I took a little bit more just to be on the safer side, but by the end of this project I'll let you guys know how much you really need. So here we go. I just keep a small thing on top and start coiling the wire. So when you coil, you need to make sure it's right next to each other, and then you can hold it here, the small tail. So coil around the wire, and this is plated blue color metallic plated wire, but you can also use the antique copper wire. The same color will also look very good, but I'm just using this blue wire because the blue is there in the background. So here we go, and I'm gonna coil. After some coils, I cinch those coils down so that they are right and next to each other. So this is how I coil, and there is coiling gizmo and tools for these. I don't have any of those, but I can manage with my fingers. There we go. So I'm going to continue coiling it and I'll come back. I coiled actually a long distance, so let me measure this. This is about 2.5 inches. So what I'm going to do here is this tail, I'm just going to snip off this tail. And then kind of bring all my coil towards the loop, and then tuck the short tail in right here, just like so. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this end right here and do the same, tuck the tail in. So this is what we have right now. So what I'm going to do is slightly bend this and shape it into a U. Just like so. So I don't need this much wire, but I'm just going to see how it looks here. So I kind of like it. So this is what I am planning for. kind of like it. So what I'm going to do here is bend the wire right where my coil ends, just like so, and snip off the excess wire. Take my round nose pliers and make a loop, just like so. I want the loop perpendicular, this one is flat, so all I do is take my pliers and turn it to this side. So there we go. That looks good. Now what I am going to do is I'm gonna take this 5-inch wire. So with the 7-inch wire I still have, say, 3 inches left. So you need 4-inch wire to do this piece, and then I'm taking 5-inch. If it is less, that's okay. If it's always good to have more than less, right? So I have some spacer beads. You can avoid the spacer bead if you don't want to. I'm just adding it because I have it, and then it creates a nice contrast. Add these beads, and then I put this coil thing inside, and then I add my bead, the focal bead, and then look at how it is. So I still have some space, so either I can make this U longer, which I don't want to, but I really want to add some beads out there. Okay, I can probably add a bigger one, just like this, right? And check. So if I add one bigger one, that would be more than enough, right? So I try to put this one right here, and then this one. It makes this very long. Okay, we will change the configuration a little bit. I will just add this turquoisey bead here, and then this one right here. Okay, let me add a daisy spacer, right? And then this loop, then our 8mm bead, then a spacer, then a focal, that looks kind of nice, spacer, and then a focal. Then again, I want this wire to go through this. You can either open up the loop or just bend this wire because it's 20 gauge, it's flexible. Right now you kind of actually shape your finding a little bit that you created. So I really like this. If you like this, go ahead and add the daisy spacer and this aqua green blue bead right here. Make sure everything is nice and tight and taut. There is no gap right here, right? And then keep it right there. So I really like this. So now we are going to create some dangles. So I want to actually create a dangle like this with this bead, with this pendant. So I'm going to do that, and also I'm going to do couple of other dangles with some other beads. So this is humongous. I will do with these, and then I don't know if I want to do this this bead right here and these ones, or this one right here, sea sediment jasper. And let me pull out some other beads also. Maybe some of these beads. So I need some copper head pins, or you can make your own head pins with 20 gauge or 22 gauge wire. I have pulled out some eye pins and some ball head pins and in antique copper, and I'm trying to make some dangles. See, I made one of these dangles. I'll show you guys how I make the other ones. So I added the aqua blue bead and the daisy spacer and this roundel, and then I'm gonna bend the wire, keep a little bit of distance and then bend the wire, and then snip it off because you don't need the entire thing, just need about 1 centimeter to make a basic loop, and then you make the basic loop. So that's one dangle that will go here, and then for the bottom dangle I will take a ball head pin, and this one looks okay, this one looks okay, and you can even add this one, but I don't like that being there. This jasper would look fine, but I don't want that. And from the box, this is tiger eye, by the way, 6mm tiger eye. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to wire wrap this quickly. Tuck the tail in. Open up this loop. And add this dangle here. That's one, this is two, and you can make multiple of them as much as you want. So here we go. Take the Picasso truck bead, and then probably this one right here, this finding right here, and then put a bigger bead, maybe the tiger eye. This is a weird shaped tiger eye that you can just do and make a drop with this. That's also okay, and it's more same color, so I'm putting a roundel here. Do the same, bend and snip off a little bit. Take your pliers and make a loop. So then make a dangle with just this aqua bead. So cute it is. A wrap loop. You can also use your pliers to wrap it. Just like so. Snip off the excess wire and then tuck the tail in. Open this loop. Add the dangle. So I'm just figuring it out how I'm going to put it here. So if I do a lot of tangles, how will it look? If I take this off and probably put this, how it will look? Or this right here. This color takes away the importance to this, so I'm not going to put that. But this looks good, or just this will look good. I'm gonna just include the bead here. Still contemplating whether it will look good or not. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to move everything out and bend this wire and take this out as well. And then you can just slide these in if you want to, or open up this loop and slide it in. And for this we need a jump ring. So for this I will put one of these, try to put, no, okay, I'll directly do the jump ring thing. And bend this wire, make a loop, make sure the loop is closed, and add this too. Close this loop, add it to this wire, you can make as many dangles as you want in this. You can cover this up completely, or you can do as less as just one pendant. I'm just looking at it like if I have to add this many here, and then I'll get a fuller look. That's what I'm thinking of. And also it has to hold this weight right here. Or I can do this, move all of these and add this here, and then it will kind of hide the pendant right here, which I don't want it to be hidden, so I can as well add it here. That way it won't be hidden, and make more of those. So here we go, again another roundel. So we can do asymmetrical, right? So just this bead right here, and the daisy spacer, and then a roundel, bend the wire to 90 degrees, snip off about say 1 centimeter, leaving 1 centimeter for the loop, and then make a loop. Okay, so here we go. So we will add it here, and then another a daisy, Picasso, a daisy, and this one right here. That will come here. So I'm gonna shift this upside down, so just move the roundel on the top. That means I put roundel first and then a daisy spacer. You can do the same design with whatever beads you have available in your stash. You don't have to have the exact beads, but if you have the box, Sam's Bead box subscription for this month, then you will have all these beads at your disposal, and you can change the pattern the way that you like. Don't go like, you don't have to follow the exact thing. You can change it however you like, however you feel that it is good. So this feels good for me, I'm doing it. And everybody has a different taste, and everybody does it differently, so you can choose your own pattern. And whenever you do that, your piece comes out really good because it's very unique to you. And then you can just open up this loop and add it here. Do the same with this also. Okay, so we need to make this dangle and this one right here. So first we'll make this one right here, and for that I'm gonna do, where is it, the Picasso round, the daisy, and this bead right here. Bend it to 90 degrees, reposition. Here I did a loopy loop, but I'm going to do a wrap loop here. But if you are making a wrap loop, make sure you add it before, add this into this before you close it, right? It's kind of tricky to do this, so that's why I chose the loopy loop thing. Or you open up this loop and add all the dangles like how I did in the first. There we go. So here is our dangles. I need to make one more dangle like this. Pick up a bead, more like that. Run nose pliers, keep it on top and bend it to 90 degrees. Reposition your pliers. When you do that, you have that distance for the wraps to land. So here we go. And then nicely wrap it. Tuck the tail in. Then open this loop up add the dangle. And close this loop. There is one more dangle we need to make with just the 3mm glass bead. Bend it, reposition, make a loop, bring it all the way around, and then wrap it around. Snip that short tail off. Tuck it in. Open this loop up, and we are almost done. So now all our dangles are in place. So I'm ready to add this one right here. You can actually open up this eye pin, and I'm going to take this eye pin off because I am not going to trust this heavy metal with just this flimsy eye pin. That's store-bought. I'm going to make my own. So I'm just going to cut some wire, probably 3 inches or so. And then I'm gonna make a loop. We can also make a wrap loop or loop-de-loop. Loop-de-loop makes more sense. See this? And then you straighten it. So there is 2 loops. I just wrapped it more and more, and I'll probably have to move this away and put this in. Bend this wire, take it out. Open this loop up. Take 3 of the dangles away. I'll just be back after putting this. I finished adding this guy right here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my bead. I'm gonna add this bead right here. Bend the wire and make a loop. If I can manage a wrap, that would be really nice. Add the pendant and wrap it at least once. If you take a little bit more wire, then this process would have been very easy. Here we go. We did it. So this is how my pendant part looks. You kind of can gauge this a little bit, make this a little bit smaller if you don't want that distance. You can tweak it a little bit more according to your preference, however you like it, but I like it this way. Now I'm ready to add my I tried 18 gauge, but 18 gauge is not going through this bead knot, this center one. So if your bead goes through, then you can do that. And then this small bead, make sure everything is nice and tight here. We don't want any space right there. Take my round nose pliers, keep it on top here. This one is not sitting properly. There we go. Bend it to 90 degrees, reposition your pliers. You have ample amount of wire to wrap around. So now you can wrap it around. So I took 5 inches of wire, which is about right. And then for this you need another 4.5 inches or so. Always keep a small container to hold all these tidbits of wire, and then throw it in trash so that it doesn't fly around the room. See, I have a small trash bin. I save all the small ones in that, and then I put it in the trash can whenever I'm gonna tie the ends up and cover it so that it doesn't poke. Okay, I am done with the pendant part. That itself took a long time, but I did everything on camera, so I hope you guys had a good understanding of how we do this, and it looks very pretty. Now I need to concentrate on the other part, the beading part on the sides. So now I want to create, either I was thinking of a beaded chain right here with all these beads, but then I thought, why can't we do some macrame and really focus this on macrame, because we can combine two things together. Now combining stuff is really popular. So I took out a Chinese knotting cord. I think this is 0.8 millimeter. This kind of matches the pendant, so that's why I took that. I'm going to take this is a weird way of actually having the macrame cord, but I bought it in beadsbaubles.com. 24, that's 2 feet, 3 feet, and 4 feet. So I took 4 feet for doing macrame, and the center cord I want to do leather rather than this, so I will come with leather. I took about 4 feet of cord here, and then I'm not going to put leather, because if I put leather, I have a small loop right here and I will have a hard time to do some knots, and I don't think so it'll look good. So I'm gonna do the core cord and the knotting cord with the same Chinese knotting cord, and then I have 6 feet cut, and this one is a 4 feet, so I double it up, find the center and put the center through this loop. Basically I'm doing a lark's head knot. Bring this, take the 2 ends and go through this, so you'll have this right here. See that? This is what you should have. and then we will start macrameing our cords. If you have turquoise color cord, you can use that. I don't have and my cord is like this color, this blue, which I didn't want to, so I'm using the brown. So and then now I'm going to burn these two ends and try and get these bead inside this. Hi friends, welcome back. So this is my new Naughty Do It All board, and I have fixed my pendant as over here, the pendant that we made with Sam's bead box. So I have fixed it after the lock said knot, and now I am going to start I threaded in all these gemstone beads. I have here say 11 beads, so I have 11 more beads for the other side, and I'm just going to reposition this a little bit, take this off, and then do it like that. So can you see the locks are not right here? I want this to be like that, so I'm just going to reposition it the way I want it to be, which is right here. And then also there is specs in these Naughty Do It All with a clip, so it's very easy for us to actually hold our work, and still we have so much space to work. And then this is my 6 feet of cord that I have in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and insert that, move all the beads down here. First I want to put some square knots before the bead, so I'm just taking this under and then going over and putting in just an overhand knot, right over left, just one knot. Hold these two ends together and bring the knot so that it's in the center of our cord, almost center. Okay, so there we go. So that's our knot. Make sure there is nothing twisted or turned over there. Okay, there we go, and push the knot all the way right next to our lock's head knot, and then we will start our square knots. Square knots is P's and Q's, as you guys all know. I have several videos explaining the square knots, so I always start with a Q. I don't know, it's just my preference. It's so easy with this Naughty Do It All board. I'm so liking it a lot. There we go. Let's do a couple of knots. Then we can add the beads, and if we want we can add some seed beads or the beads that we got from Sam's bead box subscription for the month of November, all aqua green, and I love the color combination. It's always a nice pleasant color to look at and to work with. Also we are very motivated by the color, and the orange color and the brown color also complements that. And Thanksgiving is just, I'm filming this like 2 days before Thanksgiving, so been a little bit busy. I guess everyone will be. Advanced Thanksgiving wishes to all of you. So I have here some knots. Okay, so let's see. Let me grab so here you go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knots. So there is 6 square knots. A square knots consists of 2 knots, the Q and the P. So there is 6 total. If you just calculate the half of the knot, then it is 12 knots on either side. Now I move one bead right here, and then if I want to, if I want to, I can add something here for the jump ring or so. And also, if you want, you can add beads around in this cord. You can add some more beads so that it comes around this. So I tried adding these beads, the check glass beads, this one, the round one, or this Picasso truck beads. I tried using all of those. My Chinese knotting rod was not cooperating. Then I tried the turquoise Picasso. I didn't like it, so I wanted something brown. This is the Picasso Mayuki Picasso matte brown that I'm using. This has that brown and the blue, I think. So I just added 5 beads on both of my right and the left hand cord, and then I am going to do my square knot. Just like so. I kind of like the look of it. Even if it turns like the blue, it looks really good. Hopefully the camera is picking it up. Okay, so just make sure that when you do the next, just tighten the first half knot up and then go ahead and tighten this up so that that's nice and tight. And then another half of the square knot, another half, and so in between the beads you can add 6 knots as I did here, but I want to add some dangles here. I'll explain it to you guys a little later. So I'm not going to put a lot of knots, so I'm just going to put 2 square knots, which is 4 2 Q's and 2 P's. This I think I did wrong. So if you did the macrame square knot wrong, you can know immediately how it's structured. There is like a bridge kind of a thing, and you will know for sure that you made a mistake or not, so you can fix it off immediately, right? See, now it's proper. Then again another bead, and then if you want to add more seed beads you can add, but I don't want to add seed beads at this point. I just want to leave this bead alone, just like so. So I'm just going to go around and make a knot around the bead, and I'm going to do 1, 2. So the 4 bridges, you have to see 4 bridges, that many knots I'm making after the bead, right? And then I'm going to add again 5 seed beads on either sides here, and then I'm going to alternate this way. I'll come back. As you guys can see, there is beads here, there is no beads here, and I'm going to put the next one with the beads, and then this one no beads. So I'm going to continue doing this 9 8mm gemstone beads, and I'm going to do square knots around them and come back. So I finished macrameing on both sides, as you can see. So this is what I have so far. I did an alternative of one with the beads and without the beads. So I did it this way, and I finished all the 11 beads on 2 sides, as you can see here. And then I added series of square knots over here. So this this length depends upon how much you want the necklace to be. Almost like let me measure this for you guys. So here we go. After the pendant, it's about 8.5 inches. So 8.5 inches on both sides, and our pendant measures, say, about 3 inches. So totally 21 inches. I like the length of it, so that's why I want to have it this way. And see this, if you have the necklace flat, it looks like this. If it is like this, it looks like this. So I also prefer to actually bend this a little bit and make this like this, which I really like the look of it. And now I want to trim this. So as you can see, this side it's a shorter length. That side I had quite a lot of cord that's left over. So for this, for adding the main base strand, I used 28 inches, and for the knotting cord I used 5 feet. That was enough for me to do this necklace, and that side I had extra. So now how so it's easy to finish off these Chinese knotting cords. I'm snipping off the excess cord that I have with the knotting cord, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt the ends and just push it in. Do the same here. Okay, just like so. That's done. Now we have this one. This one we need to actually do the sliding knot in the back, which we will do in a moment. But before that, first things first, let's cut the cord here to the other side. This is a base cord, these are the knotting cords. I'm not going to anyways waste this. I will use it for another project which calls for a shorter knotting cord. Just like so. And then we have these and these. So I am going to make this crisscross like this, not crisscross, basically come like this, all 4 strands, and I'm going to tuck it in my clips right here with the naughty do it all, and then we shall start doing our sliding knot. So first of all, I'm going to make myself a length there we go. So now I'm going to clamp this all 4 cords, making sure the cords are straight. There we go. And then do this that side. There is a slack, so the slack I will adjust it here. There we go. Now I have all my 4 strands here. Now I'm going to macrame on top of this. For this you need about, see this, so all 4 cords are here. This is going to be the base cord, and I'm going to macrame on top of these. Okay, so for this I need a length of cord which I cut it up, so that's about, say, 10-inch of cord is more than enough for me. I'm going to make a sliding knot with a 10-inch cord. Here we go. Make our Q. Take the two cords together and just bring it so that it's in the center, right? Then this cord right here, our P square knot, basically whichever knot we did all the time, we are repeating the same knot. And there's a couple of other knots also for sliding knots, but I prefer the square knot. It's very simple and easy, and it also like kind of, you know, the simplest knot you can do in macrame. Macrame knots are very, very nice in the sense it's very therapeutic, it's meditative. You can go ahead and knot it like for a long time. It's really, really nice and relaxing, and I really like it. Even the overhand knots are nice and meditative, and I also like the square knots a lot. All the knots, basically the half edge, the square, everything, it's kind of very organic, and it's like really intricate work. At the same time, it has like that dramatic effect. Once you finish it off, there's a lot of satisfaction out there. I love macrame, especially when this micro macrame came into place and it became very popular. Now also, I don't think so it's going ever out of fashion, because micro macrame has to offer a lot, and it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. The effort is worth the piece. So here we go. I say about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knots. Just one more to complete the 6th knot. So 10 inches of cord will give you 6 to 7 knots. You can think it that way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip off this on either side. Okay. And then take my lighter and burn that end right there, and do the same here too. So I did burn the ends just like so. Now I'm ready to take this off of the clip and my board. I have 2 beads right here. So I have my sliding knot in place. Now I am ready to add beads to the sliding knot. Okay. Just check if your knots is actually sliding or not. See this? I really kind of like it. And then you move it just like so. Then for this, you can add a big bead or small bead, whichever you have available. I added a bead on each of the cord, and then make an overhand knot at the end, just like so. To the same to the other side. Now you can snip it off. And burn it so that this knot doesn't come off. Do the same to the other side. I have long cords, as you guys can see. Thread on a bead right here and make the knot exactly where this one right here is, right? Exactly at that point. And if it is a little bit not in position, make sure that you get that knot in position a little bit, and then open up that knot, put a head pin or so inside and bring it a little bit more. And if you think it's okay, just leave it there and tighten that. Do the same thing to the other cord too. There is 2 cords in either side, on the right and the left, and we are adding bead to every single cord just to make it a little bit fancy. That's where our knot needs to be. So before tightening the knot, you can put a head pin or so here. Just stretch this out and your knot is over there. Put it in and bring it where you want it to be, and then let the knot tighten. This way you will make sure that both are the same size. Now there we go. So our necklace is pretty much done. Save those extra cords. So you can leave it at this point. Trust me, it's completely done and I really like the look of it. I'm hoping that you guys will too, right? So this is our necklace with our pendant. But if you add something here, I was actually planning, that's why I left this a little bit ahead and then started the necklace per se, because I want to create an interest here. Let me show you guys what I have in mind. So if you have some jump rings, you can put the jump ring here and then hang some dangles like this over here. But once I am done, I just feel that this is okay and this is kind of finished for me. So I just want to leave it like that. I don't want to add any more. Let me show this on a mat because this surface actually reflects a lot of light from my artificial light. So this is our necklace. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos almost every day. It comes around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day and bye.